With me now to discuss is Senator Ron Johnson from the Senate Finance and Senate Budget Committees. Senator, great to see you. You know, I was unaware. We just got some information from Maya McGinnis of the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. She says that this particular batch of student loan debt relief is going to cost tens of billions of dollars. She said the president already has spent more than $600 billion on debt cancellation. That is as much as the federal government is slated to spend on all K through 12 education. We could certainly use the money there. That's why the Supreme Court said this is not something a president can do by snapping his fingers. He's got to go to Congress, to the Senate and the House, and you guys have to vote for it. But he's doing it anyway. Isn't he violating a Supreme Court decision by this?
Yeah, this is a completely lawless administration, and it's not only just the Supreme Court that said President Biden didn't have the authority. Nancy Pelosi, when she was Speaker, said he didn't have the authority until he started doing it. This does cost the American taxpayer hundreds of billions of dollars. It's money we don't have. It's a very simple and grotesque example of just trying to buy votes with money we don't have, plundering and mortgaging our children's future. And one thing I would point out to those college kids that I guess the ones that get their student loans forgiven are happy about it, but they need to understand the consequence. I mean, this massive deficit spending, driving up inflation. A dollar you held at the start of the Biden administration is only worth 84 cents. That's why young people can't afford a home, because housing prices have doubled. Housing payments have doubled. Mortgage rates have almost doubled, and they're back down a little bit. Again, this damage has been done, but it's not quite as direct as getting the free money for a fraction, a sliver of the American population. What about all the people that didn't go to college? What about the people that paid off their college loans? It's grotesquely unfair to them to make them shoulder this burden.
And it's unfair to one of the cornerstones of our nation. I was taught that we are a nation of laws, not of men. It's the laws that men have to go by in order to do whatever they're doing, whether they're president or senator, et cetera. This is a real violation of one of the cornerstones of our nation.
Well, Dave, another thing people need to remember is we federalized student loans.
Yes.
When we passed Obamacare to pay for Obamacare. The federal government wanted to make money off the student loans. So there was an explosion in student loans. We incentivized our children to collectively indebt themselves to the tune of $1.7 trillion, hoping to make money off of it to pay for Obamacare, knowing full well that kids can't afford it, that this much money being pumped in our education system was going to drive up the cost of tuition. So the federal government caused this problem. It was the lawless Obama administration that has done so much damage. Now the Biden administration is picking up where the Obama administration left off.
Right. Well, now, of course, President Biden blames the deficit that we now have, this huge multi-trillion-dollar deficit, on the Trump tax cuts. Here's what he said in a tweet a couple of months, or 1 month ago. He said, Trump enacted a $2 trillion tax cut that benefits the very wealthy and biggest corporations and exploded the federal deficit. Now, in fact, since the Trump tax code went into effect, tax revenues, I think we can put it up here, have actually increased 48%. The federal deficit is completely from spending. It's not from the tax cuts. In fact, the tax rate cuts led to almost a 50% increase in revenue. As a matter of fact, if we had kept spending at the 2019 level, which came to our federal spending for 2019 fiscal year was $4.4 trillion, we would have a balanced budget right now if we hadn't had all those Biden spending programs. I mean, that's how good it could have been had we not done what Biden has done.
No, you're exactly right. You know, back in 2017, the static score, which assumed no economic growth, was $1.5 trillion. But obviously the economy grew. That tax cut more than paid for itself. And you're right, 2019, we spent $4.4 trillion. And then because of COVID, we had to do something fast. We had to do something massive. We did. But that should have ended. We should have gone back to that baseline. Instead, we're spending 6.5, 6.9. Now the president, I think, is proposing a $9 trillion, a 10-year a budget forecast of $16 trillion added to the national debt, never a deficit less than $1.5 trillion. That's the problem. It's spending.
And he wants to balance the budget in his mind by increasing taxes by trillions of dollars more. What will that do to the economy? Last answer.
Well, when you punish success, you'll get less of it, and you won't collect the revenue you think you're going to do, so it's going to impoverish further. We need to incentivize success. We need to incentivize people. We need to cut government spending.
Senator Ron Johnson, good to see you, Senator. Thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it.
Have a great night.